So now we are looking at the names associated with the way we draw two lines. So to understand this scenario, say you are sitting in a room, I give a pen, two pen, which is almost the size of the room itself. What I mean to say is the length is almost the size of the room. Then I'll give you a small table, right? And if I ask you to keep it, how well can you keep it? Think about it. Take two pens, try to keep it on the table and imagine it to be very long, right? From one end of the room to another end. You can move it around, turn it around, but yeah, it has to be very long. And you have a small table. So how well can you keep it? I'll give you a clue. There are three ways of keeping them. If you want to pause, you can pause and think it out. I'll be telling the answer now. So yeah, we are looking at this way. That is, they are crossing each other. They're next to each other, never touching. And the third way, on on another. Okay. So the three ways are this, right? So this is how we can keep it. We're talking about two-dimensional space, not three-dimension. So we have three ways. So their name and relationship and the number of solution associated with such scenarios. So we're looking at two lines being represented by a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0. And the second one is represented by a2x plus b2y plus c2 being equal to 0. So now we're relating the names with the lines. So this is your intersecting. So the relationship is between the coefficients is a1 by a2 not being equal to b1 by b2. And here the number of solution is, that is the number of times the line will cross each other, is 1. Next is one more thing is there's another name to this. So this is something that we need to learn, and that is consistent. So one more name to such a kind of scenario is such kind of paired line is consistent. The next one which we need to know is this parallel. And here the condition is a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2, but not equal to c1 by c2. And the number of solution is they never meet. So 0. Now we are looking at one more name to this, and this is inconsistent. Next we have dependent, right? a1 by a2 being equal to b1 by b2, which in turn is equal to c1 by c2. That's your relationship between these two lines. And we have the solution to be infinite because there are infinite number of points that is common. And the name given to this is coincident. Okay, actually it should have been the other way around. On the top it should be coincident, and at the bottom it should be dependent. That's the pattern. Anyways, the names are names. I was writing in that pattern. Okay, so we need to remember all of this. So first advice from my end to you guys is, if someone asks you what is the condition for intersecting or consistent, just tell not equals to. Okay, a1 by e2 is not equal to b1 by b2. So instead of that, just tell not equals to. If at least forget about your teachers, if I ask you what is the condition for parallel or inconsistent, just tell or think in your mind that, actually tell it out loud. It always helps. Equals to, not equals to. And if I ask what is the condition for dependent and consistent, sorry, dependent and coincident equals to equals to. Okay. So this is must for you guys to remember. So I'll make it a bit more easy. How to remember? See, when this you can think of this scenario as enemy mode. See, enemies, they agree to disagree, right? They always agree to disagree, and they have only one thing, they always agree to disagree, and they meet once to fight, right? They're consistent with their thinking. They all they're consistent to tell that they agree to disagree. Okay, so these are like enemies. When we have parallel lines, they're like kids or friends or siblings. They agree, they disagree, they do both. And there is never end to this. So there's no solution, right? They can't be near each other because they'll fight over the toys, or they can't be far because they'll cry over by missing each other. So their behavior is inconsistent. Okay, their behavior is inconsistent. Then we have the third one. These are like your mom and dad, or married couple. They discuss and they agree most of the times. So there are infinite number of solutions to whatever the problem is. So they are dependent on each other. Okay, makes sense. So this is the way to remember stuff, and you should remember. Don't miss any one of this. So we'll also see this graphically as well. So we'll type in few equations which will satisfy these conditions, this condition, all of these conditions, and we look at the number of solution. So I'll just need a second. Okay, so we are here. We are looking at one solution, right? Case one solution. So what kind of line will we be looking at? Think of it, and it appears, right? This is the graph. Okay, so these two lines, they agree to disagree. So they are always fighting, not always, but yeah. So they'll just meet once and they fight. So they agree to disagree. A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. So the next case is no solution. So we have, how does no solution look? Yes, they're parallel. They're like kids. They can't be near or far from each other. And we have infinite many solutions. Married couple. So we're looking at, right? They are dependent on each other. So they discuss and agree with everything. So A1 by A2 is equal to B's B1 by B2, that is equal to the C's, that is C1 by C2. So best way to tell the condition is equal to equal to. It saves a lot of time and energy, right? So let me show you all the three. So we have parallel and we have intersecting. Okay, so all the three in the same place, right? You need to remember all of this. So what you can do here is you can copy all of this, pause the video, copy all of this in your chapter, start of the chapter, or you can make a formula list, to be frank. So this is something which I encourage. I should, from the start I didn't do that, but yeah, this is something which you have to do. So what you do is, whatever book you use, your school notes, or you have separate notes for my classes, what you can do is you can skip to the last set of pages. So last 5 pages, what you can do is, and the last fifth page, you can put the heading formula or formula list, and you can copy such things, which is kind of important to revise, right? So, or if you're making a separate notes for all such things, then that's also good enough. So it's left to you guys, but yes, please do make a note of all of this. The entire chapter, MCQ questions and everything generally is based on this.